GBB Judging is trash. Beatboxing was the first instrument trained for making music. But what is music? Music can be defined as melody plus execution plus intention plus style. Let's start with the melody. The melody are notes and rhythm. This is a note. And the rhythm is the space between the notes. Depending on the spacing, it will provoke a different sensation. Making music also requires a technical aspect, execution, which means cleanness plus flow. Cleanness is the ability to perform every sound as it should be in the melody. Let's see an example of an instrument like the guitar. This is a riff made by a band called Polyphia. First, we will hear the original version, and then we will hear a muddy version and a clean version. Listen carefully to every note. Here is the original version. Here is the muddy version. And here is the clean version. You hear the difference? It's very obvious when you know what to listen. The flow is the humanized tempo. Even though tempo is important, flow does not require tempo because music doesn't follow a grid. Professional producers don't follow a grid when making drums, for example, and this is because they sound robotic. Let's hear an example. This is a rigid and perfect drum.
Let's just take a listen. Oh, wowzers. Okay.
And this is a humanized drum.
Let's see how that sounds. Okay, wowzers. All of a sudden, Derek's got that human spirit.
Humans are imperfect. We can't have a tempo parameter because we will never be exactly on tempo. That's why I chose flow as a better term. Intention. How can we define this term? 2 words: volume and velocity. When you play a piano progression with the same volume and velocity, it sounds melodic. But when you play with the volume and velocity, you get intention. Let's see an example. This is a melodic piano.
Yeah.
And this is a piano with a melodic intention. So the intention will guide the message through the music piece. Aggressiveness will require more volume, which we call power, and sadness will require a lower volume, what we call subtleness. If we want a feeling of tension, we will increase the velocity, and if we want relief, we will have to decrease the velocity. Managing the intention will require execution and control. So the execution with no control is called technique, and technique by itself it's useless because it has no emotion, therefore no intention. Intention generates feeling. So the music that has no feeling, it's a melody, but it's not music. To call yourself a musician, you have to make music, not melodies. A person who makes melodies is called a beat maker, and everyone has their own way of expressing music. This is what we call style. For developing a style, one has to sound different from other musicians. To do that, you have to compare yourself with other musicians. How can you be different from others if you don't know what others do? Little by little, you will find your own way of making music. How do you know it's your own? The longer it takes you to recognize an artist, the less original it is. And if you can replicate easily what the musician does, then the less original it is. To make an objective critique about music, we need to have all these definitions in mind. So why are the wildcard judging scores so different? How can Marvelous can be at first spot on Delo's paper, and how can it be at 20th spot on other judges? I mean no disrespect to anyone when I say this. The fact that judging scores are so different between the judges just demonstrates how the judges have no clue of what making music really is. Now, we need to make ourselves some questions before continuing any further. Are we judging music or are we judging melodies? Do we want musicians or do we want beat makers? This is very important because if we are not judging music, then we have to choose the most powerful and generic beatboxers. Because making melodies, as we've seen, does not require intention or style. It's just melody. The best catchy, generic, and powerful piece of melody wins. But if we want to judge music, then we need to be really careful with our criteria. Okay, but who should have won then? Well, we still need a scoring sheet, so let's make one. Music should have a melody. So we will judge if the melody is memorable. Am I able to remember the melody after listening to it? Does it invite me to listen it again? This is replayability. Execution is cleanness plus flow. Am I able to hear every sound as it should sound? Next, we will judge the flow. Am I able to feel the groove of the piece? Next is intention, which is volume plus velocity. Is the beatboxer playing with the volume of the sounds? Is he accelerating to cause tension and deaccelerating to cause relief? Is the beatboxer cohesive with the dynamics? This is what we will call cohesiveness. And finally, style. Is anyone able to replicate easily what the beatboxer is doing? Is anyone able to replicate exactly what the beatboxer is doing? This is what we will call non-replicatable. And finally, can I recognize the beatboxer without looking? This is what we will call recognizable. We'll be scoring from 0 to 4. 0 being non-existent, 1 is low, 2 is mid, 3 is high, and 4 is incredible. Okay, so everybody knows that wildcards should be 2 minutes long. But what if a beatboxer makes a mistake on second 30, but all of the song is really good? Do we subtract one whole point of the entire routine? I have a solution for this. We will chop the scoring system into 4 parts, every part lasting 30 seconds. So we will have to duplicate this graphic 4 times. This way we can be more precise in our judging. The first graphic will correspond to the first 30 seconds, the second graphic to the next 30, the third to the next 30, and so on. So every graphic will judge every 30 seconds of the piece, meaning 30, 60, 90, and 120. This way we can identify mistakes in every 30 seconds. The max score is 112, and each graphic will have a subtotal, which we will sum and have the final score. So there you have it. We have 7 solid parameters to judge the music piece. This judging system is meant to be used while listening to the music piece, so we can judge at the moment and be more efficient. Well, there you have it. But what is a perfect score and how does it sound? Well, take River's card, for example. In my criteria, that's the perfect wildcard. It points on every aspect of the wildcard. It is memorable. You can watch it 20 times if you want. You can hear perfectly every sound he makes. You can feel all the parts of the music piece, and also you can hear the intention behind the wildcard. It has an emotion, a message. And also we have a style that's very difficult to replicate, and you only take like 4 seconds to realize that you are hearing River. Using this judging system, which I will call Maze judging system, can get a top 5 wildcard really easily. From my perspective, number 1 is Kaji, number 2 is Mac, number 3 is Hard Sell, number 4 is Steady, and number 5 is Tropical. If this video gets a lot of support, I will be making a video explaining why I think this is the result. And if you really enjoy the video, I will get my girlfriend to judge these wildcards to see if a normal person agrees with my top 5, and also if she agrees to the GBB top 5. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. I'm serious, and I hope you have a great day.